Oh, oh no, it broke. Oh, please. Why? I just had this fixed. There it is, there it is, there it is. Okay. Sorry, there's the game. Ah! We have had technical issues yesterday and today. The world is just, the universe is angry at me for trying to stream on days that aren't my normal days. So, that's fine, I guess. I guess it's fine. Going to wait while we wait for people to get in, because I know that the notification sends out at weird times. I'm gonna let it play the intro sequence song thing majig for you. And I'm just gonna mute and chill for a minute.
チャコールが染み渡ったイチョウ並木の通りに有頂天に袖を振る金魚が泳ぐ記念馬のようさ簡単に嘘ぶけるラムネかったハムシのように淡い夢にとらわれこの夜を抜け出せない
Oh, whoa, Sloane, you're not late. Don't worry. I don't know why my Discord thing is not going off that I'm live. Normally it goes off by like the 5-minute mark. So I'm not really sure. But hello. Clearly we're playing Hashihime. I've had so many things break today. But it's fine. How much do you remember from last time, and where did you leave? I know we did not a super long bit after you left. Is Mercury in retrograde? I'm under. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just. So I don't know what you remember from last time. For those that didn't get to watch much of it or only watched little bits, yes, Minakami died again. We went back in time to save him, and we couldn't save him. He died again. And then, there was a whole little bit about these kids calling Kawase a murderer and, saying that he murdered the old guy who adopted him. And then Kawase and Tamamori got into an argument because Kawase said that he was glad that Minakami died. because he found him annoying, and Tamamori did not take that very well. Tamamori joined the Irregulars Regiment, which is a bunch of kids that are determined to figure out and prove that Kawase is a murderer. We found out the waitress from the cafe was actually the son of the lady that was housing Minakami. Long, weird bit there, not really sure. There was also some weirdness with Tamamori spent the night in Minakami's closet, hoping that he would come back, and he didn't. But he did catch the madame rifling through Minakami's things. The waitress. Yes, Naoshi-kun cross-dresses for a job and is the waitress at the Kanda Bridge Cafe. He is also the leader of the Irregulars Regiment. And is not a very nice kid, to say the least. It's not a very nice kid. But Tamamori said that he would help them, even though he doesn't plan to help them, in exchange for help figuring out who killed Minakami. So, that's where we left off. There was a long sequence at the bathhouse where the kids were trying to bully him into agreeing to trap Kawase, and get them proof that he murdered an old guy. Yeah, either way, lots happened in the last episode. So much happened in the last episode. TLDR, Minakami died again. Tamamori is not taking it well. He is trying to figure out who killed him. Kawase is glad that Minakami died. Hanazawa has not shown up. Professor got really confused when Tamamori knew his name, because he flubbed up and forgot that, oh, I'm not supposed to know this guy in this route. So, that's where we are. That's where we are. We good? That's where we're starting. The clock's second hand ticked away the time until it was finally 11. Un, aka Naoshi-kun, knocked on the door. He was right on time. Evening, Tama-san.
Konbanwa.
My internet cut out after you explained about Naoshi. He's the leader? Yes. Yeah, good evening. The shopkeeper is asleep, so keep it down. Got it. Naoshi-kun said as he boldly sat by the register. He had an attitude, like usual. Sorry about earlier, okay? Every once in a while I like to show Kudo-kun and the others my cool side. Still, you insulted me pretty bad. You're a bad influence on those guys. But yes, now she is Mako. And also the leader of the Irregulars Regiment. Which is based on the Japanese translation of the Sherlock Holmes books. Okay? Okay. Really, I'm sorry. Come on, let's go to the basement. We can't talk much here, right? Oh, right! Tamamori is trying to sacrifice Naoshi-kun to the creature in the basement. He really said, let me show you this thing in the basement that might help. Like, it's a mystery. Like, he doesn't remember what happened to Hanazawa when they went in there. So, yes, he's trying to sacrifice a child. It's fine. He was concerned about the shopkeeper's room. I nodded as I guided his gaze towards the entrance to the basement. Naoshi-kun hesitantly approached the gaping hole. By the way, I had asked the shopkeeper for a key to open the door, but he didn't have one. So I had opened it by force by sawing around the lock. Yeah, Tamamori's not in the right here. It had taken me 30 minutes. He promised Naoshi-kun somewhere they could talk privately. Yeah. Wow, it's like a bomb shelter. I pictured something much more flashy.
Oh.
Yeah. How do we get down?
飛び降りるのだ。
You jump down. Minakami is the only valid person in this game. Yeah, kinda.
この椅子を足場にして帰る。
We'll come back using the stool. Then there's nothing to worry about. Tamamori's like, little do you know. Tamamori, it's not nice to sacrifice 12-year-olds to a creature that you don't know what it is. With a lamp in hand, he fell into the darkness. He hadn't hesitated in the slightest. I expected no less from the leader of the Irregulars regiment. Ow!
どうした直し君?
What happened? That was really far! I twisted my ankle.
そうか。
Oh, I see. You see? Get down here and help me. Ah! This isn't the funny British man. No, funny British man's tomorrow. This is our horror gaze. He calls Naoshi-kun in! Tamamori, you're such a bad person! I closed the door. What are you doing? Tama-san?
すまない直し君、すまない直し君。
Sorry, Naoshi-kun, I'm sorry. What? Did you say something? I can't hear you.
すまない直し君。
Sorry, Naoshi-kun.
君は多くを知りすぎた。
Time for me to test out some 75 pence earphones. I'm so sorry. I will probably get loud during this. Tamamori, what the hell? You know too much! I opened the door only to spit that out and close it again. Hey, stop screwing around! Open it, you piece of shit! I stood up and placed a foot on top of the door. He was short enough that I didn't think he could reach it. But I pushed down harder to drown out even the sound of his breathing. Tamamori, you are not a good person! You're lucky these cheap earphones muffle all sounds, so my screams are always somewhat quieter. Good. Tamamori, you are not a good person. You are an adult. You do not need to be sacrificing a child to the creature that lives in the bomb shelter. Tamamori-san, do you have any idea what you're doing?
わかってる。わかってるから息が荒れてるんだろうが。
I do. Why else would I be breathing so hard?
オラには今の君の思考が全くもって理解できん。
We sacrificing children already? Yeah, we're 18 minutes in and we're sacrificing a child. I have absolutely no idea what you're thinking right now. Be quiet! Shut up!
この下には怪人がいるんだぞ。
The Phantom is down there.
わかってます。
I know!
直し君を殺す気か。
You're gonna kill Naoshi-kun? Oh! Why does Frogman have teeth? Why does Frogman have teeth? I will add that to the random quotes list on Discord. That feel when the protag has a personality, but it's horrible and he's so unlikable. Why does the Frogman have teeth? Frogman stretched out his tongue. I grabbed it and stuck it to a bookshelf.
帰る男。
大人を怒らせるとどうなるか教えてやるのだ。
I'll show you what happens when you piss off your elders. Frogman has teeth. Why did that give me another horrible me idea? Make it. Do it. Despicable. You're despicable, Tamamori-san.
君は怪人に直し君を殺させる気なのか
You're gonna let that monster kill Naoshi-kun?
うるさい貴様らも消すぞ
Shut up! Go away!
いけない君はもう汚れてはならない
Okay. Don't. You mustn't become any more corrupted. I think that's, I don't... I think he's a little too far gone. I removed my foot and pulled the door open. Naoshi-kun was there, damp with tears and snot. I dropped the stool down right next to him with a thud. Soma-san?
さあ
Mind, I'm back though. I don't know if I'm... Tamamori! Ah! Now, come on up. Naoshi-kun got up on the stool as he sobbed. He slipped off repeatedly, perhaps unable to gather any strength in his hands and feet.
怖かっただろ
He must have been scared.
最低だよ。死ねよ。なんなのここは。
Why would you do that, Tamamori? You're the worst. Go to hell. What is this place? It stinks and it's dirty.
もう大人をからかうなよ約束してくれるか
Can you promise you won't harass your elders anymore?
死ね。
Go to hell.
なあ約束してくれもう私と川瀬に関わらないと
Hey, promise that you won't get involved with me or Kawase anymore.
わかったよ。
Mean.
よし
Alright. This game, there's monsters in the basement and I think someone wants to condemn a child to hell. Next stream, a cat's gone missing and we need to find her. Well, the duality of my streams, you know. And Naoshi-kun's height. He wouldn't be able to reach the entrance even if he were to jump from on top of the stool. He reached my hand down so he could finally get back out. I took Naoshi-kun's hand in my own. His trembling hand held tightly to mine. Then he gripped it tighter, his nails dug in. He's gonna pull you in.
人生もめちゃくちゃにしてやると。
There is not a single good person in this entire cast besides me, Nakami. Everyone is messed up. I'll ruin your life, too. Or he was going to try. It was in an instant. Naoshi-kun's body was suddenly pulled into the darkness. No, you actually killed a child. Tamamori, you shut that door right now and you get out of there. His nails left clear marks on my outstretched hand. But now Naoshi-kun was gone. Can we have the Animal Crossing New Horizons theme in the background? That'll darken the mood. No, I think he changed his mind and was just gonna scare Naoshi, and, that's not good. From the depths came the splat. He killed a child. He killed a child. When I touched the warmth on my cheek, my fingers came back red. Oh, Tamamori, you messed up! Oh, Tamamori, you fucked up bad. There was a raw smell, a smell exactly like when my goldfish died. What? You knew this could happen, why would you do this? The staggering figure of the phantom from the basement appeared. He slowly looked up, and his eyes rested on me. Oh. Tamamori, you fucked up bad. I'm sure I'll sleep well tonight. I immediately closed the door. You killed a child! immediately stood up. I immediately ran out of Umebachiro. Suddenly there was an echo of a thud against the ground. The man had wrenched the door back open. Oh, Tamamori, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? This was a miscalculation. What did you think was gonna happen? Tamamori! A miscalculation. A huge miscalculation. I should have immediately run after lowering Naoshi-kun into the basement. But my half-assed conscience kicked back in. I'd felt regret. And because of that, my sins were now closing in on me. Tamamori, oh my god. When I turned a corner, I suddenly ran into someone.
助けてください。能面の男に今。
Help me! A man in the no mask is... Oh no, and now... Okay, hi, we're... Tamamori, you're so dumb, you're so freaking dumb. Tamamori. I was gonna say we should play horror games this month because it's, you know, spooky season. I think this one is good. I think we were already working on it. Oh, the lightning illuminated none other than the silhouette of that man. Oh my gosh. Still on my ass, I was no longer able to move. Is it sad? Dying. You asked this in the last route, and yes, it is. I mean, 30 minutes in, we have a child murder, and I think the actual devil, yeah, something like that. Is dying sad? Why is he asking me that? It was the same scenario as before. This time, I grabbed the large Calspi bottle without hesitating, threw it at the monster's face as hard as I could. My wandering hand happened to pick up an empty bottle. I'd missed any vital spots again, and yet the man was stumbling back, clearly in distress. His breathing was extremely erratic. Without anyone urging me on this time, I calmly ran past the phantom. The sound of thunder was getting even louder. The rain and wind blew even more fiercely through Jinbocho. And because of that, I wanted to cry even more. Nothing made sense. Minakami was dead. Naoshi-kun had been killed. Would I be able to escape? Even if morning came, wouldn't he come marching for me every night? Terrible story. I was gonna be killed by a man who looked exactly like the phantom I had created.
やっぱりダメだ。私の夢はもう。
This is seriously not good. My dream is already...
夢?
Dream? Not good. Not good. Not good.
終わりだ!
This is the end! Suddenly my foot got caught in a deep puddle. Cold water filled the bottom of my shoe and instantly swallowed up my ankle. I tripped and fell. Again? The moment I had that thought, I was suddenly on the streetcar. Sorry, Tamamori, I have no sympathy for you in a time like this. When I say I had to turn my chair around and crawl into my chair with my knees up to just read through that passage. So time travel is happening. I was suddenly on the streetcar. It wasn't very crowded, even the seats were mostly empty. I grabbed a leather strap, stared blankly out the window. Wasn't I just being chased by the phantom? Hadn't I had a dream like this last time? A dream, or maybe a memory from the past. Oh boy. Yeah, this happened last time, but it was Minakami. Suddenly, sitting in the seat farthest in the back, I saw Naoshi-kun. He was reading a children's book with a bulky cover. I moved down the streetcar to approach him.
いやー、ナオシ君、奇遇だな。
Hey, Naoshi-kun, what a coincidence.
ほら、私だよ。昨日から君の家でお世話になってる浪人生だ。
Hey, it's me, the Ronin saying that came yesterday to stay at your house. And any way we can explain, it's a little confusing, and I don't want to say this for sure because we really haven't, it's not confirmed. The streetcar is in some way purgatory, or it's a transport from him in the future, as far as we can tell, from him in the future back to before the events of the game started. So it's his time travel. Last time he was running away in the same manner, tripped in a puddle, fell on his face, and then he woke up in the streetcar. And then when his memory or his dream from the streetcar was done, he was back in the world 3 days earlier before his best friend had died. So this is the second loop. Groundhog Day, but purgatory, kind of, because he only seems to see people that he lost in the previous loop. So last time his best friend was in the streetcar, and he sat and talked to him. This time, the kid he just accidentally killed is in the streetcar.
あんまり顔を合わせないから忘れられたかな。
You don't look me in the face much, so you must have forgotten.
知ってる。
I know who you are, Naoshi-kun said as he lowered his hat even farther. He seemed to be shy. I wasn't in the habit of prying into other people's lives. But since I would be staying with them for a while, I wanted us to be close.
私は玉森と呼ばれていて、
So it's a memory of some kind. They call me Tamamori, so you can too, of course.
タマさん。
Tama-san.
うん、そう親しく呼んでもらっても構わないぞ。
Yeah, I don't mind if you want to call me something more familiar either. We rocked in the streetcar in silence. Wanting to break the awkwardness in the air, I asked him where he was getting off.
神田橋。
Honda Bridge.
本当に奇遇だ。実は私も神田橋で降りるのだ。美味しいコーヒーを飲める店があると聞いてな。
What a coincidence, I'm getting off at Honda Bridge too. I heard there's a cafe there where I can have some good coffee.
なんだ、君も知ってるのか？
What, do you know about it too?
うん。
Yeah.
それじゃあ今度一緒に行こう。私がおごって。
Then let's go together next time, my treat.
うるさいやつだな。
Sure are annoying.
え？
うるさいって言ってるんだよ。
Said you're annoying.
ああ、ちょっと。
Or like a, you're annoying, shut up, but I don't. Problem is, I can't ever say the devil without thinking of the version from the Sonic fan dub. You know, the American taxi driver who fails to talk people sinning. True. Wait. I grabbed his arm out of reflex. Surprised by how slender it was for a guy, I let it go.
神田橋は次の停留所だろう。
Honda Bridge is the next stop, right?
そんなに私といるのが嫌かい？
Do you want to get away from me that badly?
よし、私も一緒に降りよう。
Alright, I'll get off here with you.
は
君とおしゃべりしたいからだ。これから長らく世話になると思うしな。
Mamamori does not know. You know, the devil from the Bible? I want to talk to you. After all, I feel like your family will be taking care of me for a while.
タマさんってさ、嫌われるでしょ。
No one likes you, do they? He wasn't cute at all.
長らくって言ってたけど、2年もいられないんじゃない？
You said a while, but you won't need more than 2 years, right? A totally uncute brat. Okay. Well, Naoshi-kun, it ended up being exactly 2 years that I was able to eat for free. Rain fell in drops from the gray sky. Cold rain fell right into my eye. Sharp pain jerked me awake. Hmm? Rail tracks. Warning? And he's back where he was. People stopped and gasped as they all looked at me. No way, this meant... the streetcar was blowing its horn right behind me. I scrambled up and escaped this one problem. What was this emptiness I felt? I was being chased by that phantom. My foot had gotten stuck in the mud. After I loitered in an alley for a while, the ground under my feet started to shake, and my controller is vibrating. An earthquake. Come to think of it, there had been a lot of earthquakes. But after so many of them, I no longer felt any panic. To quote the Sonic fan dub, I can finally leave! I'm back at the beginning again! I heard something loud above me, so I looked up. Several roof tiles were falling.
Tamamori-kun.
Haruhiko-san pulled my sleeve. I didn't move another step. I continued to watch the tiles as if I were watching the rain. The frogman cried out as one was about to impale him. Haruhiko-san generated a small barrier above them, repelling the tile. As for myself, the earthquake passed without a single tile raining on me.
一つくらい当たってもよかったのに。
At least one should have hit me.
君という男。
You're something else. Hello, Panda. Or Madly, I guess, because Madly was streaming today. Oh, that's right. I need to save Naoshi-kun. You need to do something different. I seem to have spent the night out here like this, but Naoshi-kun was still in the basement. No, he's not. When I got back to Umebachiro, I dropped to my knees in front of the basement. Maybe we just leave the basement, like... Just leave the basement alone, Tamamori. Just leave the basement alone, okay? Twice now you've had people die in the basement. Mostly because of your fault. Save the child, no murdering this time. Yeah, no murdering the child this time, okay? Okay. When I got back, the handle is back to normal. Again. But spooky basement is spooky, but he needs to leave it alone. And this is God telling him no.
Tamamori-kun, やめなさい。
Tamamori-kun, stop.
でも、直し君が。
Naoshi-kun is...
直し君はそこにはいない。
Naoshi-kun ain't there. Yeah, why mess with the basement? Come on, you know there's a scary man that lives in the basement that will kill people. So leave it alone!
どうやらオラたちはまた3日前に戻ってしまったようだな。
God, clearly God isn't on his side. Well, true. At least the first time he had better intentions. Yeah, he was just really scared. Mostly raiding and lurking so I can eat. Okay, well, that's fine. Have a good lurk. We're playing scary game again, so like, if you don't want to stay, you don't have to stay. I understand. Yeah, the first time he went down, it was just because he told Hanazawa that somebody was chasing him and was like, ah! And Hanazawa was like, I'm gonna take care of it. And then Hanazawa did not take care of it. So, we didn't even see Hanazawa in the last route. Like, at all. He just did not show up at all in the last route. So, you're here for horror game, though. You missed some of the horror stuff. Yeah, you missed him accidentally killing a child. I should stop saying that. I'm gonna get flagged when this goes on YouTube. People are gonna be like, actually, I ain't sleeping tonight. It's okay. You don't have to sleep tonight because tomorrow we'll have Leighton and then you can sleep. You can miss one day. It seems we've somehow gone back 3 days again.
早く助けないと、直し君が。
Tamamori is losing his mind. If I don't hurry and help Naoshi-kun.
えい、わからぬ男だな、君は。
Are you really that dumb?
ごめんなさい。ちょっとした嫉妬のつもりだったんです。
I'm sorry, I was just trying to teach you a little lesson.
とうとう自白を始めましたね。
And so the confession begins. Yay, funny accents, go hee hee!
どうしたものか。
What are we gonna do with him?
私も昔悪いことをしたら閉じ込められたものでして。それが。
Oh, that's some, Tamamori, are you okay? Back in the day, I would be locked up when I did something bad. I thought it would work on him, too. Tamamori, you need therapy. You don't need to be doing any of this. Leave the basement alone and go to therapy. Take Minakami with you.
しかし、あの時感じた玉森くんの殺気は本物だった。
But that urge to kill that I felt from you then was real.
ごめんなさい。でも私ばかり悪いわけでは。
I'm sorry, but I'm not the only one to blame
な
here.
どと言い訳しております
Now
が
he's making excuses.
生粋のダメ人間だ。
He truly is scum. Tamamori is severely mentally ill. And we already knew this because he has hallucinations that talk to him and berate him. But now we find out he has childhood trauma. He loses his best friend. Nobody believes him that it was homicide. And then he's being chased by some otherworldly creature. He does share a lot of the blame, but I do feel bad for him.
Emotional damage!
Yeah. That's right. I'm not the only one at fault. I'll say it over and over. I'm not the only one at fault.
殺されるような真似をする彼が悪いのだ。いや
Tamamori, baby, I need you to sit down, have a mental breakdown, have your boyfriend give you a good kiss on the forehead, and then go to sleep. Please. Please. Ah! It's his own fault for doing something that would get him killed.
それより玉森くん。
Forget about that. Look in your pockets. I reached into my pockets and pulled out the goldfish watering can and a copy of Doggra Magra. The goldfish watering can.
だからそっちではない。
Not that. Look at Doggra
グラマグラを
Magra.
見なさい。
I think his cranky friend is maybe not mentally sound either, perhaps. Yeah. Kawase is also not mentally okay. Minakami may not be mentally okay. Hanazawa is probably not mentally okay. Who knows about Professor? He's just a weirdo. Nobody in this game is mentally okay. They all need therapy. Now that he mentioned it, I had stolen this copy from me and put it in my pocket. Well, that wasn't quite accurate. Saying I had stolen the book from me was more accurate. If I were to translate that more colloquially, I'd say that the me that was me had stolen the book from me's me. Huh? Huh? Pardon?
もしかして私は
Could it be I've returned to the past again?
さっきからそう言ってるじゃないで
He
すか
told you that earlier.
じゃあ
Then Naoki-kun is Naoshi-kun is totally okay. Okay? Funky music vibes though. Oh yeah, I love the funky music. I ran out of the shop. Then, without waiting for the streetcar, I headed there. This time, if you run into Miyakami... Oh, he went to the cafe. Sorry. I thought he was going to the house. And I was gonna be like, this time if you run into Minakami like you did last time, don't say nothing is wrong. Don't let him leave on his own, please. I continued to run, half stumbling, until I came to the cafe by Konda Bridge. As soon as I started to go in the main entrance, I saw him by the window and stopped.
元気に働いていますね
He wasn't the murderer. He's working pretty hard, isn't he? We got even closer and watched the waitress Meiko. No, Naoshi-kun. He suddenly noticed my gaze. He waved at me in a spare moment before being called away by another customer.
よかった
Thank goodness. Ace, drink water. I don't have water, but I have drink mix. Is that okay, or do you want me to go get water? It is water, but it has drink mix in it. Is that fine? So I drank some. Do we reckon this is a Jekyll and Hyde situation, but he's just stuck as Hyde almost all of the time. So, I know a little bit of spoilers on this game because I did not pay attention to not looking at spoilers. That was kind of bad. And drink mix is okay, but get water for your next stream. Okay, I will. Tomorrow I will have actual water. I don't know how much the theme of Jekyll and Hyde actually relates to Tamamori, but it is a theme in the game because it's the movie that Minakami invites Tamamori out to and then doesn't show up to. What the heck? I don't know if that came over the microphone, but what the heck? We don't normally have planes fly over my house, so that was a little weird. Oh yeah, I could just make it hydrate instead of water specific. Jekyll and Hyde, great book, had to do that for my GCSEs. I read Jekyll and Hyde when I was like 12 or 13, I think, and it quickly became one of my favorite books like ever. So, love Jekyll and Hyde. Again, I don't know how much it relates to Tamamori specifically, but it is a theme for the game. That did come over the microphone. You guys heard that? It was whack! I don't know what that was. I was very surprised by that. We don't have, like, the Air Force Base is not nearby. The airport's not nearby. I don't know why there would be a plane flying that low over my house, but okay. Either way, the person you tried to kill is alive. Ain't that great?
白い目で見ないでください。そんなつもりはなかったとはいえ、反省しています。
Don't give me that look. Looking back on it, I can say that that wasn't my intention.
玉森君、あの殺意は忘れてはならぬ過ちだぞ。
That urge to kill was a mistake you can never forget. I thought it was local here because it was loud. No, it was here. It went right over my house. There was no way I could forget. There were obvious scratch marks on my right. Wait. There are? What does that mean? I would probably continue to feel this guilt until they faded.
とりあえず入ります。
So we knew that like, Hanazawa's pocket watch came with him. Now, the goldfish watering can and Dogramagra are with him. But I didn't think, I guess, that there would be any physical signs on him besides that. And he's here, but he hasn't gone back to Umebachido, so there are currently 2 Tamamoris in this timeline if it's like the last timeline. For now, how about we go in? Yeah.
まったく、君たちは現金すぎる。
Good grief, you two are way too slick.
いらっしゃいま。あれ？
Welcome, huh? Nashikun looks surprised.
すまなかった。
I'm sorry. Huh? I didn't expect him to understand my sudden apology. I took a seat without assistance and gave my order to the waitress without looking at the menu.
オムレツライスとカルスキ。
Please don't vomit this time, Tamamori. Please don't. Jekyll and Hyde. So when it came to analysis, somehow, as a class, we ended up with some wild inferences, such as Jekyll was gay for Utterson, Hyde was a link to racism because Dark Figure, okay, sure, and then the wildest was Hyde was gay for Jekyll. They're the same that is... Alright, reading comprehension is not people's strong suits. I get that, but wow. You should continue to feel that guilt anyways. Okay, yeah, the fact that his scar is there, and weird. Yeah, that, yeah. Oh, right. So, reminder, last time he came back in, so Tamamori, the one from this route, has already been here at the cafe. This is Tamamori from our route that is going in. Last time, he ordered this exact thing, and threw up. And ate the throw up. It was really gross. Did Naoshi actually have a real crush, or was that fake to get private info? I would assume it was fake. He doesn't really say that. I don't think in the bathhouse scene. I think they just don't acknowledge it, but I'm pretty sure it was just fake. English literature was wild times, and yeah, don't get me started on Macbeth. Oh boy. Omelet, rice, and a cow's pea. You can still eat? When I just sat there, he let out a confused and went back to the kitchen. Tamamori, do not throw up this time. As soon as he did, I clutched my head and lay across the table. Yeah, I just can't believe it.
同じくこの時間跳躍については未だ不思議なことばかりだ。
It's the same. All this time travel is still full of mysteries.
違いますよ。彼女が直し君だということです。
Not that she's Naoshi-kun. He can believe in time travel, but he's like, this little twink that I just killed in the last route is a cross-dresser? Bro, chill out. Because we were told to infer the smallest details and make the wildest links to get higher marks. Ah, I see. Tamamori? Babes, it's not that difficult. Naoshi-kun is making money, so what?
ああ、確かに男の子であり女の子であるとはなかなか受け入れられるものではないよな。
Oh indeed. Finding out that the girl is actually a boy would be pretty difficult to accept. I'm gonna say this right now. I do not agree with Tamamori on a lot of things. If he says anything transphobic, we're kicking him to the curb and never listening to a thing he has to say again. Okay? Okay.
どこからどう見ても女の子ですね。
No matter how you look at him, he just looks like a girl.
やはりメイコが嘘を。
Knew it. Meiko was lying.
だが思い出せ。オラたちは先日あの女給の髪に違和感を感じたはずだ。
But remember the other day, we thought there was something off about her hair.
そういえばそんなことも。
Oh, now that you mention it, there was that too. The conclusion we'd reached then was that her hair was two different textures. In other words, the waitress Meiko was wearing a wig.
ああ、メイコと彼が同一人物である数々の裏付けが脳裏に。
Several things that support Meiko and him being the same person are coming to mind.
明治生まれのメイコ、メイコ、メイコ、明治生まれの直し。
He's not already kicked to the curb for trying to kill Naoshi. Okay, look, I can forgive a lot in a character. That sounds bad. I do not support Tamamori trying to kill a child. That's a full statement. However, I do understand that he is immensely mentally ill. And I understand because I am immensely mentally ill. Not that I would ever try to kill a child. Again, I do not agree with him on this. But I can have a little sympathy for him. That's it. That's all I need to say. Jekyll and Hyde literally has the door was red situation. Yep, to quote the red Bays door, the inference, poverty because Bays is on pool tables. And also the lower class door was only for servants, so obviously Jekyll was rich. Oh my gosh. I'm teasing, sorry. No, it's fine. I just feel like for all viewers and future viewers that will see this VOD, murder is bad, especially if it's a child. Don't do it. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And clipped. No! Let me know if I ever overstep. Sloane, you will never overstep, I would tell you. You know that I tell people, so you're not going to. If you take the character for Mei in Meiko and combine it with the character for Nao in Naoshi, which can also be read as Ji, you get Meiji, the period in which they were both born.
なるほどなるほど。
Frogman, shut up. You're not helping. You're not adding anything.
私はまた3日前に。
But why have I gone back 3 days again? Was this really 3 days earlier? Just then my omelet rice arrived.
本当に
Can you really
本当に食べきれますか？
can you really eat it all?
なんだその口の聞き方は。私は分子だぞ。
Why are you asking me like that? I'm a writer.
浪人生も分子のうちに入るんですか？
Oh, he's doing the thing. Tamamori, shut your mouth, eat your omelet rice, don't vomit. Very simple instructions. So a Ronin Satan can become a writer too.
何一人芝居
What, is this a one-man show or something? Hey, Mr. Writer?
分子さんはお腹が空きやすいんですね。
Mr. Writer gets hungry fast, huh?
からかってるんですか
Are you making fun of me?
以上が本当にから始まる君と私の会話。
Up until this point, that was our conversation, starting from, can you really?
だから何が言いたいんです
So what? What are you trying to say?
私は君の行動すべてを見抜けると言っているのだ。
I'm saying that I can predict everything you're going to do.
手品
Is it a trick?
違う。
No.
技術
Magic.
それとも違う。
Not that either. He hid his right hand behind his back.
面白そうだから乗っかってあげます
Seems fun, so I'll play along.
何の真似だ。
Clip made, happy times. Oh no. What are you doing?
私は一体
How many fingers am I holding up?
3。
3.
すごい
Amazing! You got it right. Wow, that's so creepy. I couldn't believe I'd gotten it right. You didn't. Now she is messing with you. The guests around him clapped. Anyway, I had been pretty lucky. To make sure I had him believing everything I said, I pointed at the omelet rice next.
私は先ほどオムレツライスを注文した。だが君はいらぬことをシェフに告げ、このオムレツライスをオムレツへと変えた。
Oh, right. I ordered omelet rice earlier, but you needlessly told the chef to make it just an omelet.
この中身はライスではない。
There isn't any rice inside. It's tomatoes! I split the egg down the middle with my spoon. When I did, red tomatoes poured out like guts.
嘘で
And sent
何
to
が
Discord.
言いたい
Oh,
の
beautiful, thank you. No way. So what are you trying to tell me?
長い髪が似合っているぞ。
Don't reveal his identity at his place of work. Don't be weird, Tamamori. You look good with long hair. What?
玉森さん
Seriously,
本当に何が言い
Tamamori-san.
たかったんですか
What were you trying to say?
彼の正体を暴き忠告してやろうと思ったのだ。川瀬に近づくのはやめろ。さもなくばとな。
I thought I'd expose his true identity and give him a warning. Stay away from Kawase, or else. Something like that.
だが生き生きと働いている。
Good, he didn't say anything. For once, Tamamori, you did the right thing. Stopped my English language rant just to get that clip. But when I saw him working so enthusiastically, I couldn't say anything.
生き生き
Enthusiastically?
おそらく彼は好きで女装し好きで働いていると思うのだ。2年前からずっと。
I'm gonna regret saying this later. Tamamori might be an okay guy sometimes. Maybe. Probably not. But maybe. I thought maybe he's been cross-dressing and working here over the last 2 years because he likes it.
惑わされるな玉森くん。男を騙す女装工作員は時に女よりもうまく立ち回るも
Haruhiko,
の
shut up. You're a delusion. Don't be fooled, Tamamori-kun. There are times when men can be deceived more easily by cross-dressing spies than by women.
そういう事例もあるかもしれませ
That
んが。
may be true, but...
生き生きと振る舞う姿はあくまで不正規連隊として情報収集に明け暮れる姿だ。
3 books we had to learn with Macbeth, Jekyll and Hyde, and also an Inspector Calls. Oh, interesting. I went to see the live show for that play. Sounds very fun. I love plays. I do love Macbeth. I love a lot of Shakespeare stuff. All he's doing by wearing that outfit and pretending to be so enthusiastic is gathering information as part of the Irregulars Regiment. It didn't seem that way to me. I lost connection. Did I miss anything? Tamamori did something nice. I know. It was a shock. What you egg? He stabs him, truly the line of all time. Yeah, he was going to, he was messing with Naoshi-kun and was going to, confront him about his identity at work. And then was like, no, he's working really enthusiastically, so maybe he just likes cross-dressing and serving people at the cafe. And so he didn't say anything. Yeah. There was Naoshi-kun's embroidered handkerchief. It had such a cute, intricate design. There was the quiet, blunt boy, and then there was the cheeky, cheerful girl. Naoshi-kun's true nature was probably more like the girl's.
でも僕だったら女の子の格好なんて恥ずかしいな。
But you're not him, or they. I don't know. We don't have pronoun confirmation yet. But still, if it were me, walking around in women's clothing would be pretty
そう
embarrassing.
だな。カエルの女装需要などどこにもない。
Yeah, there's no demand for cross-dressing frogs. I don't screenshot anything from this game, but I'm screenshotting that because that's iconic. Tamamori's Kun really said, yeah, shut up.
理解に欠けますね。
That's not what I meant.
でも
But,
どんな気持ちなのかな。
oh?
女の格好をするというのは
I wonder what it must feel like. Dressing as a woman, I mean.
何？女装に興味があるのか、玉森くん。
What, you have an interest in cross-dressing, Tamamori-kun?
違いますよ。
No.
冗談はやめにしよう。しかしこれで現在がまた同じ3日前ということが分かったな。
Let's stop joking around. Either way, we now know that we are currently 3 days in the past again. Poetry side of English, it was the war poems we needed to learn, and in the exam, analyzing unseen poems. Ah, yeah. I was in AP English, so I remember doing the poetry section. My conversation with the waitress, the contents of my omelet rice. There was no need to confirm it any further. Even though I had no idea how this was happening, that had to be it.
戻ってきた意味はあるような気がします。
I'm sure there's a reason why I've come back again.
ほう。じゃあやはり行くかい。
Oh, then I guess we're going there?
はい。私はもう一度私のところへ。
Yes. I'll see me again. When I arrived at Umebachido, I was lying flat on the floor facing a manuscript. He scribbled vigorously, not noticing me at all. The first thing I did before I approached me was close Umebachido's doors. And we got deja vu. I then stepped on the manuscript, which his face was now even closer to. When I did, I slowly examined myself from head to toe with eyes full of surprise.
なんだ貴様は。
But who are you?
よく聞け私よ。
Listen up, me.
明日明後日でお前の大事な友人が死ぬ。
Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, your dear friends are going to die.
なんだと？
What?
でお
Hey, whoa! The manuscript beneath my foot was wrenched out from under me, making me lose my balance.
君も学習しないな。
You never learn. I ignored Haruhiko-san's comment and continued.
なぜ私と同じ顔をしている？
Why do you have the same face as
君
me?
は今そう思っただろ
Is probably what you're thinking right now.
私は未来から来たお前なのだ。
I'm you from the future.
80万年後でも1000年後でもない。たった3日後から来たのだ。
I like that this implies that Tamamori would have been ready at any situation for time travel because he says the exact same spiel that he did the first time. So he denies that he likes reading books that are like fanciful and interesting like that. But then he's clearly got it prepared. He's like, this is what I would say to me if I saw myself from the past. He's such a loser. Slightly affectionately. Not 800,000 or even 1,000 years from now. I've come from just 3 days in the future.
ふざけたことを気でも違っているんじゃないか？
Nonsense. Are you crazy or something?
私が愚かであることは認めよう。口で言っても融通
Oh,
の利かない
is he
バ
gonna
カ
do the
だと分
poop
かってい
thing
る。
again?
だから 今から3
I don't really want to have to relive that. I admit, I'm a fool. I know I'm too stupid to listen to what anyone has to say, so I'll prove to you that I've come from 3 days in the future.
予言だ。
Oh!
夕方、眼帯の男が
No,
来る。
they were still on the same
モ
spiel.
グラマグラを手に取り、
Here's the
銀の錠
prediction.
をお題の代わりに置いていく。
This evening, a man with an eye patch will come to the shop. He'll grab Dogra Magra from there and leave a goldfish watering can for it.
ドグラマグラだとみなかみのやつめ。
Dogra Magra. Damn, Minakami. I went to pull Dogra Magra out from the bookshelf. I pushed the book back
流
in.
行るなよ。私の言うことを最後まで聞け。
Don't be so impatient. Listen to everything I have to say.
いいか君は今、芥川の2つの手紙を思い出している。
He did change it. Maybe we won't have to listen to I know you crapped yourself 20 minutes ago because you couldn't get to the outhouse. That's a real thing. Oof. Well, I'm glad you still passed with a grade 6. That would be rough. My AP exam, I played Persona 5 all night the night before, and I barely passed. You listening? Right now you're thinking about Akutagawa's The Two Letters, the story of hysteria about a husband seeing his own doppelganger.
なぜわかる？
How'd you know?
君が私だからだ。だから最初に君の疑念を潰そう。
Because you're me. That's why I'll smash any doubts you have from the start.
まず私はドッペルゲンゲルではない。
First of all, I'm not a doppelganger.
うるさい幻覚だ。
Shut up. You're a hallucination.
幻覚でもない。
I'm not a hallucination, okay?
2とは便利な数字だ。一人が欠けてももう一人がいる。そうなると、2、3、4と便利なものが続く。
Yeah, there would be a lot of big sad with that one. That would be very big sad. I was hyped up on iced tea and like 4 hours of sleep for mine, and I was lucky I stayed awake, but I would not have dealt very well if I had just gone through a breakup. There being 2 of us is convenient math. Even if one of us were to fail, there would be another. If that happens, 2, 3, 4 of us would be even more convenient. I can't afford to keep expecting more chances right now.
何をブツブツと君の悪い。
You're
マリを呼ぶぞ。
creeping me out with all that mumbling. I'm calling the police.
だから待て。何も私は君になり変わろうというのではない。
Wait,
協力し合おうと言っているのだ。
I didn't say anything about replacing you. I'm saying we should work together.
不気味な幻覚め。
What a creepy hallucination.
君は今、カエル男と古書店店主の話を書いている。
Right now, you're writing a story about a frogman and a used bookstore owner.
お前が私であることは分かった。だが、お前が幻覚でない証拠は？
I get that you're me, but do you have any proof that you're not a hallucination? Oh. The conversation seemed to be progressing smoothly.
そんなの簡単だ。君の方を叩いて覚醒させてやる。
That's easy. I'll slap some sense into you. I don't blame him for thinking he's a hallucination. You can't touch him, Tamamori. Last time you touched the other me, the other you, he became a puddle of water on the floor. Couldn't pick up games or build Lego. It was so sad. And then I played Tears of the Kingdom for 5 months straight. Well, you know, sometimes a little Tears of the Kingdom is what you need. If I hit him, he'd probably throw a fit and then let go. I grabbed him by the collar and pulled him closer, but the moment that stupid face received the palm of my hand, cheek I touched turned a clear blue, and ripples ran through my entire body. In the blink of an eye, my body turned to water. You knew this was gonna happen, Tamamori! It happened last time you touched the other you. Huh? There was a heap of clothes where I had been. Then, they slowly began to soak up the water. I staggered back before it could get into my shoes. I had turned into water? Again?
カエル男。
Frogman,
匂いを嗅げ。
smell it again.
またですね。
Again! Yes, sir! Yes, we're very glad you're doing better, Destiny. Really, the big sad is no more. Good. Fight the big sad for you. The frogman sniffed the water as Haruhiko-san commanded.
水です。これも今日の雨水です。
It's water! This is also water from today's rain. Thanks, Frogman.
どうやら君が触れると、もう一
Seems
人の
whenever
君
you
は水になって
touch, your other
しまう
self
らしい
turns into water.
なんでかはオラにもわからん。
Even I don't know why. Anyway, search those clothes. I hesitantly searched the clothes. I found my glasses and a ticket for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Without thinking, I once again put them in my pocket, then dropped to my knees and fell forward.
また私は成り代わってしまった。
I've replaced myself again.
やはり分かり合えんか。
You really don't get it, do you?
また私は
Again, I've...
玉森くん、そんなに自分を殺したことが辛いかね？
Is killing yourself really that upsetting?
当たり前じゃないですか。自分自身にすら信じてもらえなかったら、こんな私を誰が信じてくれるって言うんですか？
Of course, if even I wouldn't believe me, then who's to say that anyone will? The metaphor right there, turning into water, must be the internal sadness inside him manifesting into the water. I mean, this game does have a lot of, like, subtleties. So you could say that. I don't know that that's what it's going for, but...
でも水上さんは信じてくれました。
Minakami-san believed you, and he still died. Reminds me of the Phantom going, is dying sad. Yeah, that would be my first connection. I couldn't help but scoff.
信じる？あいつが？
Him? Believed me?
だって信じるって言ってくれたじゃないですか。
I mean, he said he believed you.
あいつはどうせ夢物語としか思ってないのだ。
He thought it was nothing more than a dream. That's why he'd compared it to the fantasy novel The World 800,000 years later. That had been proof that Minakami hadn't taken my story seriously. That was why he'd been murdered right under my nose. So why don't you stay with him for the day that he's supposed to get murdered? If you rearrange the letters in Tamamori, you get Mama right. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's something. There was one thing I understood. The monster was only after Minakami. As long as no one went into the basement, the Phantom wouldn't go after anyone else's life. That night at the cafe, when I passed out... No, when I had fallen asleep and the Phantom cornered me, he hadn't taken my life. In other words, as long as I didn't invoke his wrath by entering the basement, I'd be fine. It was exceedingly simple. But to be on the safe side, I piled books on top of the door. Everything had been fine for the past month. If I lived my life as if I were oblivious to the monster in the basement, he'd probably leave me alone after a while. As long as no one goes into the basement, that means he's going to go into the basement. Either that or somehow Kawase is going to go into the basement. Hanazawa was the first one to die. Now Shikun was the second. So it's got to either be Kawase or the professor that goes in the next. Because they're the only two characters that would make sense. But I don't know how many routes or how many loops we have to go through before we get to the actual routes. Afterwards, I just keep Minakami far away from the Phantom.
でもどうしたら水上さんは言うことを聞いてくれるのでしょう。
But how will you get Minakami to listen to you?
玉森くんが言っても信じてくれないだろうからな。
He probably won't believe you no matter what you tell him.
だから奴を頼るんです。
That's why I'll rely on him. Oh, hey, look, basement books.
やつとは。
Him who? If the words came from him, the man Minakami trusted, he would probably believe it, even if Minakami wouldn't believe me. Are we being introduced to somebody new? I guess we're being introduced to somebody new. I rode the streetcar and came to the main gate of the Imperial University in Hungo. Everyone was wearing their neatly pressed uniforms and passing through the gate, their faces composed. That silent pressure made me stop dead in my tracks.
帰りましょうよ。
Let's go back.
うん。
I felt shame and a sense of inferiority. Oh, the music be vibing. I lowered my umbrella and hurried through the gate as if I were trying to escape. Let's see, where's the medical department? Everyone was walking about the campus with no trouble at all, while I was consumed by buildings with difficult-sounding names. I slowly walked down the path as I searched for his silhouette.
医学部に用があるということは、目的の人物は川瀬くんか。
If you're looking for the medical department, then the person you're looking for is Kawase?
はい。でも医学部のことはまるっきりわからないので、 どこに講義室があるか。
Yes, but I have no idea where the Department of Medicine is. Where are the lecture halls?
誰かに聞くかい？
Why don't you ask someone?
そのつもりでしたが。
That's what I'm trying to do, but everyone looked like they were in a hurry, so I was having a hard time calling out to them. Perhaps because of my own prejudices and feelings of inferiority. Wow. Everyone ended up looking like they had Kawase's domineering face. It felt as though if I approached them with an "excuse me," they would reply with "what do you want?" Or if I came up to them with a "pardon me," they would ignore me. Among the crowd in black, white clothes jumped out at me.
今の博士じゃないですか？
That was Professor, wasn't it?
ああ、孫うことなき博士だな。彼ならすでに知人みたいなものだ。
Yeah, that was Professor, all right.
聞いてみよう。
We're already kind of acquainted. I'll ask him where the medical lecture halls are. Professor vanished behind a building. I quickly ran after him.
すみません。
Excuse me. After a brief moment, Professor's eyes shot wide open and he stumbled. When I approached the building, his legs began to shake. He seemed pretty shocked. I hadn't even been this shocked in front of the Phantom.
梅鉢堂の常連の方ですよね。
You're that regular Dumebachido, right?
そうです。
That's right. Let's just not discuss English language. I hate that exam. Trying to talk about a picture is hard, especially when you gotta throw in every method under the sun. Yeah.
私のことを覚えてますか？
Do you remember me?
そりゃもちろんですとも。 でも、どうして？
Of course, but why are you...
実は今道に迷っておりまして、たまたまあなたを見つけたのでお声掛けしたんです。
One extract was from the life of Pi. Yeah, if you'd read that before, you got a head start. Actually, at the moment, I'm lost. I just happened to see you, so I called out.
おかわいそうに。僕でよければ案内しますよ。
You poor thing. If you're all right with me, I can show you the way. I was glad he was such an agreeable young man.
僕、氷川喜十郎と申します。僕のことは博士って呼んでくださると嬉しいです。
I'm Kijuro Hikawa. I'd be happy if you called me Professor.
博士ってことは何か研究してるんですか？
Professor?
まさか教授？
Does that mean you're a researcher? Don't tell me you're a professor here.
そんなすごい役職じゃありません。本当にあだ名みたいなものです。
Oh, no, my occupation isn't anything as impressive as that. It's really more of a nickname.
私は玉森って呼ばれてます。
Everyone calls me Tamamori. A nickname? Yeah, we don't really know what's up with Professor. We know the least about him right now.
はい。
Tamamori-kun. Yes.
玉森くん。玉森くん。
Professor is a freak, okay? Well, that's all we know about him. Professor should have known my name already. Was he that happy that it was official now? What a weirdo. I thought as my mouth relaxed into a smile. Professor, stop being weird, challenge.
あちらに見えるのが病理学講義室です。
You can see the pathology lecture halls over there.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
いえいえ。それじゃあ僕はこの辺で。医学科のご友人にもどうぞよろしくお伝えください。
Huh? How did... We didn't mention that we were going to see our friend in the medical department, did we? Don't mention it. Well, I need to get going. Please give me my regards to your friend in the medical department.
はい。それと、よかったらこれ、もらってくれませんか？
I will. By the way, if you don't mind, why don't you take this? I handed him the pocket-warmed copy of Dagra Magra.
先日入った本です。あなたが今まで買った本から推測すると、これも気に入るんじゃないかと思って。
It came in the other day. Considering the books you've bought before, I thought you would like it.
ほんのお礼です。では。
As thanks. Bye.
これって脈ありって。
Oh, he's a freak! He's a freak! Professor, no! Could this be a sign of your affection?
Huh?
Huh?
その 親しくなれた。
I mean, is this proof that we're close now?
そう捉えていただいても結構です。
Tamamori, do not say things like that to him. He's going to get the wrong idea. He's already getting the wrong idea. He is already getting the wrong idea. Writing creatively in such a short time was hard. Yeah, that's fair. Your exams were funky and you hated them. That's valid. That's valid. I never really struggled with exams except for, like, the big ones, and then those I, like, hated. If that's how you want to take it, I don't mind. Professor suddenly crumpled to his knees. He's a freak! Tamamori isn't a student, and he's also, Professor is also not a professor. It's a nickname because his name, Hikawa, sounds kind of like the word for professor, which I think is, like, Kase? Iwase? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know, he's just a freak. He's just a freak. Professor suddenly crumpled to his knees.
ちょっと博士、膝が。
Professor, your knees. He's just coming across as a stalker fan. Yeah, he's,
これ受け取ってください。
please take this, Tamamori-kun. He took out a scrap of paper with an address written on it from his pocket. Bro is jumping the... We're jumping some steps. We're jumping some steps.
僕の家です。僕の家に来ていただけたら粗品を。
He gave you a book and said he vaguely remembered you. And now you're like, here, come over to my house. That's my address. If you come to my house, I'll give you a modest gift in return. A modest gift? He was probably going to force me to take another tin toy. I see.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Is dating really that easy? For Professor, it is. Because he has been watching Tamamori for a while. What, Sophie? Can you believe this? I don't know if you can hear her meowing. Yes, that is Sophie meowing. You wanna say hi? No? Turn it up. Like, I just want pets. I don't want you to be playing a game. I just want pets. I see.
ごめんなさい。腰が砕けて。立てません。
He's a freak! I mean, granted, realistically, Tamamori could probably match the freak. Yeah! Yeah! I'm sorry, my legs don't work. I can't stand.
手を貸しましょうか。
Why don't I lend you a hand?
いいえ。君に触れられたら僕骨まで砕けちゃいますから。
My whole face feels like it's burning red. This man is shameless. No, if you were to touch me, even my bones would break. He said as he laid his upper body down as well and began to leave, dragging himself along the ground. What is wrong with him? I couldn't help but watch him do that until he disappeared into the shadows.
博士。
Professor, huh?
一体誰にそうと呼ばれてるんでしょうね。
Man, he really said all or nothing. Oh my gosh! I wonder who actually calls him that. I don't know, man. Is it... My stream is marked 18 plus. Is it a kink thing? I mean... Reckon he goes into the basement to try and find him. I mean, I think it sounds kind of like Professor is going to be the next one to die instead of Kawase. Maybe, right? That's gotta be it! If he's not a professor, who the heck is calling him Professor? He's also a little freak! I'm just saying! After we had closed our umbrellas, we stood in the hallway of the pathology classrooms. From the staircase, there were 3 or 4 classrooms in a row, and I could hear professors' passionate speeches coming from the windows. The lectures reminded me of sutra chanting. I suddenly felt sleepy. I found you in this creepy basement. This is where we should get married. Ah! Kawase was probably listening intently. And you're gonna go and try and get him out of his class. After a while, students exited in noisy groups from each classroom. I stood by the entrance and desperately searched the crowd for Kawase. They all had such arrogant faces. Kawase is like, sorry, why are you here? Tamamori-kun.
Kawase!
Kawase!
なんでまたこんなところに
What are you doing here? At that, the demon turns around the corner. No, he is mine! I grabbed Kawase's hand and dragged him into a random classroom. Perhaps because he was in such a state of shock, it took him a while to shake my hand off. Gross. What the hell do you want?
一体何の用なの
Phantom is going to be the officiator. Do you guys want to know a secret that I have been keeping since we started playing this? Plug your ears if you don't want to hear something spoilery. A little bit spoilery. We ready? Okay. You can actually date the guy in the no mask. Okay? Alright. That's not the route we're going.
実はな、川瀬、お前にお願いがあってやってきたのだ。
Spoilers over! Plugged ears. Okay. Actually, Kawase, I came because I need a favor. It'll only take a second. Back. Yes, you missed the spoiler. Good. He suddenly narrowed his eyes in suspicion. Damn, these dating sims are wild. Yeah, really. We'll have to go soon. Okay.
くだらないことだったら許さないよ
If it's nothing but nonsense, I won't forgive you.
何？ひどく簡単で実にスッキリすることだ。
What? It's terribly simple and will actually make us both feel better. Kawase touched his lips, annoyed. Damn, I should have all preferred to buy him cigarettes beforehand.
みなかみを監禁してほしい。
I'd like you to detain Minakami.
は
Huh?
正確にはみなかみの監禁を手伝ってほしい。
More accurately, I'd like you to help me detain Minakami.
ばっかじゃないの
What are you, stupid? That was when Haruhiko-san and the Frogman made an appearance.
タイムスリップについて相談するんじゃないんですか？
You're not gonna ask him about your time slips?
川瀬は時間跳躍をなかなか信じてくれなかった。
Kawase didn't believe what I said about time travel. Besides, if he knew it was to help Minakami, he probably wouldn't help me. Dating sims are about loving others now. I gotta murder a few people first and then travel.
友達を信じられないなんて。
Even your own friends won't believe you. How sad.
うるさい。
Kawase blinked in
でな、
surprise.
川瀬。何やらあいつ、私たちに隠し事をしているようなのだ。
So Kawase, he seems to be hiding something from us for some reason.
隠し事
Hiding something, huh?
それを聞き出すため、奴を3、4日ほど監禁して口を割らせようと思う。
This is not a good plan. To get him to spill it, I was thinking we'd lock him up for 3 or 4 days until he confesses.
ずいぶんひどい冗談だね玉森
What a cruel joke. Are you that curious about what he's hiding?
なんと、花沢が噛んでいるらしいのだ。
Oh, he's blackmailing Kawase. Apparently it has something to do with Hanazawa. Huh? I figured if I mentioned Hanazawa's name, Kawase would bite immediately. You should probably sleep even if you're invested. It's okay. I will post this episode next sometime. We've got episode 4 is coming out, I think this weekend. Episode 5 will be on YouTube next weekend or next week, beginning of next week. So this will be up probably end of next week. So you won't have to miss anything, I promise. But if you need sleep, it's good to go get sleep.
みなかみのやつ、私たちに隠れてちょくちょく花沢に会っているらしくてな。
Apparently, Minakami's been making frequent visits to Hanazawa while keeping it a secret from us.
へえ水臭いね
How cold.
だろう？水臭いだろう？一体何十年来の友だと思っているのだろうな。
Right? It is cold, isn't it? After all these years, I thought we were
私
friends.
たちに内緒で、なんと3ヶ月も前から会っていたそうな。
He kept it a secret from us. Looks like he met up with him 3 months ago. I'm talking about you, you bastard. I pushed that bitterness down deep and continued with a straight face. I gotta backlog it then, fellow streamer I watch. I'm currently gonna help with a task for him where I label and list things from the Metopia streams for future highlights video. Oh, valid! Valid! Well, anytime you want to get caught up, it is there for you. So, no worries.
嘘だ。
Maybe he's lying.
嘘？
Lying?
だから、その、水上は嘘をついてるんじゃないかって。
I mean, well, isn't Minakami lying? Kawase was clearly
村
upset.
上が嘘をついているようには思えなかったな。例えば、花沢が陸軍科学研究所の第3課地学的事項研究に携わっていると教えてくれた。
I don't think he is. For instance, he told me Hanazawa had been invited to serve at the Army Research Institute's Laboratory of Earth Science Matters, 3rd Division.
まあ、真実かどうかは私には分からんがな。花沢に聞いてみないと。
Cheeky little brat. I don't know if it's true or not, though. I'd have to ask Hanazawa.
面白そうじゃん。俺も気になるから、その監禁、手伝ってあげるよ。
How interesting. I'm curious too. I'll help you lock him up. Get some good sleep, Destiny. That's the Kawase I
それ
know.
で、その手順は
So, what's the plan? He was pretty quick to accept my wicked deeds.
まず明日、あいつが梅鉢島にやってくる。そこを縄でとっ捕まえて、梅鉢島の2階に連れて行く。
Tamamori. First, tomorrow, he'll come to Umebachido. We'll tie him up with rope and take him upstairs.
悪いけど、そこまで俺は一切手出しできないから。
Sorry, but I can't help with any of that.
お前が水上にすら触れられない綺麗好きだということは分かっている。お前に協力してもらいたいことは他でもない。ただ、私の言葉にうなずいて。
Tamamori, be gay, use time travel to commit crimes. I know you're too finicky to touch Minakami. All you have to do is agree with whatever I say. That's all I want you to do.
うなずく。
Agree, huh? The reason Minakami ignored my advice and went to Suido Bridge was because I had absolutely no power of persuasion. However, if I could get Kawase, the one he'd chosen to settle his final affairs, on my side, my credibility should increase.
わかった。どうせ昼は君の家に行く予定だったし、ちょうどいいや。
Alright, I had planned to come over to your place this afternoon anyways, so this is convenient. A twice as vicious smile came to Kawase's face. He went down the stairs, chuckling under his
川
breath.
瀬、その、いや、戸締まり用心しろよ。
Kawase, I mean, make sure you lock your doors.
え？ああ、話したっけ？ネズミ小僧のこと。
Huh? Oh, did I tell you about them, the thieves?
いや、何も知らん。断じて知らん。
I know nothing at all.
そう。いや、最近俺の近所に変なガキたちがふらついててさ。
I see. Well, there have been some weird kids hanging around the neighborhood lately.
住んでるってバレたら。
They've been peeking at the manor grounds.
怖いよ。
I'm afraid they'll break in if they find out I live alone.
まさか、あの邸宅に一人で住んでいるとは思うまい。
There's no way anyone would think you live alone in that mansion.
だよね。
Indeed.
それと明日のことだけど、水上を縛る縄くらいは用意してやるよ。
By the way,
その代わり。
I'll at least get the rope you will be using to tie up Minakami. In return, don't forget about your manuscript.
原稿？
Manuscript?
忘れないでね。楽しみにしてるんだからさ。
He's being weird. Don't forget, I'm looking forward to it, okay? Of course. I'll drag you into my illusions this time. Was how I would normally flare up. But what came to mind was what Naoshi-kun had said. Even when he says something mean to you, you just pretend to be upset. By degrading yourself, Kawase-san's ego is inflated. So he lets you hang around him. That's how you live. In the end, it's all for yourself. Kawase left. Even though we parted with smiles, I lay across the desk. Afterward, Tamamori! None of this plan sounds like a good plan, but I understand you're trying something. Afterwards, I returned to Umebachido with heavy steps.
店主、戻りました。
Boss, I'm back.
おかえり、玉森くん。
Welcome back, Tamamori-kun.
すみません。店を開けてしまって。
Sorry, I'll open up the shop.
いえいえ。
Don't worry about it. I sat at the counter and took out black ink, a pen, and brand new manuscript paper. The frogman sat on the edge of the counter and rocked his head from side to side like he was enjoying himself.
玉森さん、玉森さん、僕と春彦さんの物語書いてください。
Tamamori-san, please write Haruhiko-san's in my story.
わかっている。
I will.
また破られないように丁寧に書いてくださいね。
Write it good so it doesn't get torn apart again.
破られたら破られたで、また何度でも書き直してやる。
Even if it gets torn apart, I'll keep writing it over and over.
あの
When I suddenly snapped out of it, I was lying on the floor grasping a pen. Tamamori, you loser! You can't break the habit, can you? Before me was a manuscript I was in the middle of writing. Perhaps because I was writing before the ink could dry, there were several letters smudged to the left. Apparently, I had been a little overzealous again. I counted the scattered manuscript pages as I gathered them up, but I was missing the first page. When I happened to turn around, a man was looking down at me, concerned.
その大丈夫ですか？
Are you alright?
大丈夫です。私は無事です。
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm safe.
無事？
Safe? Here, this fell by my feet.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. Professor's back! He gave me a relieved smile. I tapped the manuscript on the counter to straighten it up, then set it down.
昼間はどうも。
Thank you for this afternoon.
いえ。お友達に会えましたか？
Don't mention it. Were you able to see your friend?
はい、おかげさまで。
Yes, thanks to you.
よかった。それと僕からもドグラマグラをいただいたお礼がありまして。
I'm glad. By the way, I wanted to thank you for the copy of Dogra Magra you gave me. He slowly opened his bag and pulled out another tin goldfish watering can. He set it down with a clunk, just like I thought he would.
ごめんなさい。気持ち悪かったらごめんなさい。
I'm sorry if it's creepy. You have done worse things, Professor. You've done worse things today.
でも、いいんですか？
But
大事なものなんじゃ。
are you sure? Isn't it important to you?
いえいえ。あと97匹いますので。
No, I have 97 left.
だから寂しくないので大丈夫
He
なんで
changed
す。
suits. Yeah, well, he was wearing, like, his lab coat earlier. That's why, I won't be lonely, so it's alright. Professor seemed to be a rather eccentric man.
ごめんなさい。僕またおかしなことを。
I'm sorry, I said something weird again.
いえ。
No.
じゃあ僕はこれで。雨が降れば明日も明後日も必ず来ますので。
Well, then I'll be going. As long as it's raining, I'll definitely come tomorrow and the days after. His face turned red and he ran out of Umebachido. I now had 2 goldfish. When I looked into their sparkling eyes, I let out another sigh. When I was younger, I begged my grandmother for tin toys. She gave me a blue goldfish watering can. My grandmother looked upset when I hurled it at her, and the next time she gave me a yellow goldfish watering can. But look closely. Look, it's a goldfish. I don't want it! My grandmother told me sorry and hugged me. Sorry. Why had my grandmother apologized to me? She should have smacked me or yelled at me. I ended up remembering something kind of awful. No one came into the shop after that. After closing up, I changed my writing space to my room. It had been raining since morning. I gave my goldfish his food, but he was facing away from it as usual. I wondered if he was aware of his own little lifespan. I gave him more food than usual and covered the bowl ahead of time with paper. Afterwards, I opened the shop and revised my manuscript next to the register like I usually did. For a while, I heard the shopkeeper's breathing as he slept. Gotta go for supper now. Okay, bye! We're gonna keep going for another half hour so we can get our full stream time in. But once noon rolled around, I finally heard the sound of a futon being folded. I love you, bestie! Have a good dinner!
店主、おはようございます。
Good morning, boss.
おはよう、玉森くん。朝からご苦労様です。
Morning, Tamamori-kun. You're working hard this morning.
いえ、
Oh, no.
今日も体調が良いので少し散歩してきます。
I'm
留守
feeling
を
better
お願い
today,
しますよ。
so I'm going to take a stroll. Please watch the shop while I'm gone.
はい。それと店主、何やら最近地下室から虫が湧いてきて。
Alright. By the way, boss, it seems like there have been insects coming up from the basement lately.
何？それは大変だね。
What? That's terrible.
今日中にでも木の板を打ち付けておこうと思うんです。構いませんか？
I was thinking I'd nail a wooden board down over it today. Do you mind?
好きにすると良い。それにしても地下なんてあったかな？
Do whatever you like, but do we even have a basement? The shopkeeper tilted his head in confusion as he opened the back door and left. I was sure he'd get mad if I told him I was blocking the door with the books we sell. I needed to do something about it right away.
そこで何してるの？
What are you doing there?
川瀬、よく来てくれたな。
Oh, say, you came.
障子に話しかけるなんて、君もとうとう末期だね。
You're talking to Shoji now. You've finally gone off the deep end.
さあさあ、座った座った。
Now then, sit. Kawase looked irritated when his insult was ignored. However, when he took out a rope from his bag, his smile immediately returned.
これでいいかな？
I wonder if this will work.
素晴らしい。
Wonderful!
問答無用で大の大人が縛られるわ
But
け。
it's not like you can tie up a grown man without a fight.
それに関して問題ない。何？適当な本でボコンと叩いて気絶させ。
Mamamori, be nice. That won't be a problem. I'll just grab a random book and hit him over the head and knock him
俺
out.
もお遊びで来ているんじゃない。案がある。俺がうまくやるから。
Kawase just wants revenge, and I don't know why he wants revenge. It wouldn't be easy for me either. I have an idea. I'll do it right, so just follow my lead.
だがその案ってのは？
Okay, but what is your idea?
すごく単純なことさ。作戦会議する必要もないほどね。
Extremely simple. So much so there's no need to go over the strategy.
だが一応だな。
But just in case.
それより俺はこっちが気になる。
Anyway, I'm more concerned about this. Kawase tossed the rope to me and snatched the manuscript by the register in exchange. He slowly began to walk around the shop. He read each page without discarding them, but suddenly stopped and turned around. What's this? Another new story? Yeah.
これって
Is this about me?
俺とあいつのことだろ。
About me and him?
川瀬、それについてだがな。
Kawase, about that. Him who? This guy who? Well, he hadn't actually said this guy. Anyways, this was where my questions about Kawase arose.
お前は一体何を読んだ？
What exactly did you read?
何って。ここにあった原稿だよ。
What?
カエル男と古書店
This manuscript right here. The story about the frogman and the used bookstore owner.
だよな。
Well, yeah.
私には心当たりがないのだ。
I have no idea what you're talking about. Suddenly, the ground shook. It was another earthquake. Once again, Kawase looked at me without moving an inch.
確かに私はお前がカエルを殺したのを見たことがある。それ
I've
も何年も前。
definitely seen you kill a frog.
上でだ。
It happened years ago, in the country on Judoku Bridge.
だが私には分からんのだ。お前がどうしてそんな顔をするのか。
But I don't understand why you're making a face like that.
そんなって。ああ。
Like what? Oh. Kawase touched the cheeks of his forced smile.
そもそも、なんで俺が君の批評を引き受けたか。
Do you know why I agreed to critique you in the first place?
すまん。
Sorry.
空想と現実がごっちゃになってるからだよ。
You confuse fantasy and reality.
何がお前を困らせるんだ？
Did I do something to upset you? Damn, I accidentally said his next line.
忘れちゃってるのかな。
I guess you've forgotten.
悪いけど、玉森くんが思い出すまで、批評はやめないことにするよ。
Sorry, but until you remember, I won't stop. Until you remember, I won't stop doing your critiques. With a vague smile on his face, Kawase tore apart the manuscript. It was 40 pages, but he was able to tear it all apart in one go.
その気持ち悪い笑い方、やめろっつっただろ。
Told you to stop with that creepy laugh of yours. It was over before I could understand. Even when I searched my brain, it was shrouded in a black mist, and I couldn't remember anything. I suddenly realized that beside me, the frogman was crying. Once Kawase was done thoroughly ripping the manuscript apart, he lit a cigarette like it was his reward for a job well done. He then unknowingly blew the smoke out toward the frogman. Rule.
何？
What? I was seeking direction from Kawase's moods. I could have said, hey, stop, wait. There were plenty of words I could have used to stick up for myself, but not a single one came out. Even when he says something mean to you, you just pretend to be upset. By degrading yourself, Kawase's son's ego is inflated. So he lets you hang around him. That's how you live. In the end, it's all for yourself.
みなかみが来たみたいだよ。
Looks like Minakami is here.
みなかみ。
He shook the water droplets from his umbrella and mantle and he smiled, oblivious. I gave him my usual smile, same as Kawase.
久しぶりだな、川瀬。
Been a while, Kawase.
3人揃うのは1ヶ月ぶりだね。
Been about a month since all three of us have been together.
川瀬も忙しいんだな。
You must be busy too, Kawase.
一番忙しいのは君でしょ。俺と玉森くんは毎日会ってる。
You're the busiest one here. Tamamori-kun and I see each other every day.
暇だな、お前らも。
You guys sure have a lot of free time.
悪かったな、この野郎。
Sorry about that, jerk.
ところで君、聖望は？
By the way, where's your uniform hat?
え？はあ。
Minakami suddenly touched his head as if he had just realized something was off.
どこかに置いてきたのかな。
I guess I left it somewhere.
なくしたんだろ。
Didn't you lose it?
なくした？毎日被る聖望を？
You lost it? The cap you have to wear every day?
正直言うと、まだ見つかってない。電車の中に忘れて、それっきりだ。
Honestly, I haven't found it yet. I forgot it on the train, so since then...
君も結構抜けてるね。バカになる風を玉森くんから移されたんじゃない？
Pretty careless too. Did you catch Tamamori-kun stupid or something?
そうかもしれない。
Yeah, I may have.
じゃないだろ。否定しろ、否定を。
Don't say yeah, you should deny it. We were having this ridiculous conversation again. Glanced at Kawase and gave him the signal. I started to clean up the ripped up manuscript.
話は変わるけどさ、Minakami、君最近。
Sorry to change the subject, but Minakami, lately you've...
ちょっと待ってくれ。
Wait a second. He came up to me and suddenly grabbed my wrist. The scraps of paper I'd managed to collect scattered back onto the counter.
玉森。
What is this?
原稿だ。
A manuscript?
どうしてこんなことに。
Why is it like
俺
this?
が破ったのさ。
I ripped it apart. Minakami turned towards Kawase with a sharp glare. I, on the other hand, gently placed my hand on the counter.
川瀬。お前。
Oh, he opened his eyes. Things are getting serious. Oh, crap.
なんてこと。
He actually opened his eyes to look at Kawase. Kawase, how could you do this to someone else's things?
あまりにもくだらなかったんで、ついね。
It was so stupid, I just couldn't help it.
くだらない。だと。
I can't do justice to the emotion in Minakami's voice right now.
ああ、くだらないから破り捨ててあげたんだ。
Yeah, it was stupid, so I tore it apart and threw it away for him.
別にいいのだ、みなかみ。原稿の1枚や2枚。
It's fine, Minakami, it's just a few pages.
この量は1枚や2枚じゃない。
This isn't just a few.
40枚はあるのだが、まあいいではないか。
Tamamori, you're not helping!
ものなら何度だって書き起こせる。な。
There were 40, but whatever. Once I've written something, I can rewrite it as many times as I want, right?
川瀬、お前に玉森の原稿を読む資格はない。
Kawase, you're unfit to read Tamamori's manuscripts.
資格
Unfit.
出て行け。
Get out! I had never heard Minakami sound like that, or seen him make a face like that before. It was probably the same for Kawase, so it was pretty amazing that he was able to keep his usual smile. This wasn't the time for me to be impressed, though.
君はそんなに玉森くんの物語が好きなんだ。
You like Tamamori-kun's stories that much?
本当に面白いと思ってる。
Do you really think they're interesting?
ああ、
Yes.
残酷だ。
How cruel.
残酷だね、君は。どうしてつまらないものをつまらないと正直に教えてあげないの？
Kawase, you do not make me like you at any point in time.
こんなクソみたいなお話に喜んじゃってさ。
You're so cruel. Why can't you be honest and tell him they're boring when they're boring? How can you continually enjoy his shit stories like that?
俺は君とは違う。玉森くんに才能を見出している。
I'm
だから
different.
あえて厳しくしてやってるんだよ。
I'm different from you. I'm looking out for Tamamori-kun's talent. That's why I'm so harsh.
川瀬。
甘やかすよりはためになるでしょ。
That's more beneficial to him than spoiling him, isn't it?
それが
I don't think it's right.
自分の価値観を他人に押し付けるな。
Don't push your own values onto other people. Miyakami's fists shook for a brief moment. Quietly unclenched them and searched through his bag. Then placed 5 reference books on the
英
counter.
文小説だ。これなら楽しく勉強できるかと思ってな。
These are novels written in English. I figured you could enjoy studying these.
ありがと
Thanks.
う。もう行くのか？
You're going already? Minakami put his mantle back on and ran out into the rain. That did not go as planned. It was the first time I had seen Minakami like that. I stayed dazed for a moment, unable to comprehend what had happened.
なんなのあいつ。それにしてもこんなことが激鱗ね。
What's with that guy? And was that him pissed off? Kawase fiddled with the ripped up manuscript.
しかしお前、私のためを思ってくれていたんだな。
So you've cared about me this whole time.
ああ、嘘に決まってるでしょ。で、そんなことより、水上を連れ戻さなくていいの？
Oh, that was obviously a lie. More importantly, shouldn't we bring Minakami back here?
連れ戻してくる。
I'll bring him back.
たく。本題はこれからだっての。
Jeez, I was just getting to the point too. Kawase, you do not make me
おい、
like
水
you.
上。
I do not want to date you. Hey,
講義の
Minakami.
合間に出てきたんだ。すぐに戻らないと。
My break between classes is over. I need to get back soon.
せめて私の歩幅に合わせろ。
At least let me catch up.
すまない。
Sorry.
いいから落ち着け。
Never, just calm down. I grabbed his arm through his mantle. His pace gradually matched up with mine.
怒らせてすまない。
Sorry for pissing you off.
どうして玉森が謝るんだ。
Why are you apologizing, Tamamori?
だな。実はあれ、演技だったのだ。うん。
Actually, that was all an act. Yeah.
演技？
Act. Minakami suddenly stopped to look at me. Then he looked ahead as if he were thinking, and began to walk again.
水上ってなかなか怒らないだろ。ちょっとかかってみたのだよ。
We were thinking, hey, Minakami doesn't really get angry, does he? We were just teasing you a bit.
ひどすぎる冗談だ。
That was a really cruel joke.
だから私が謝る。
Why, I'm apologizing.
俺の方こそ怒鳴って悪かった。川瀬にもそう伝えておいてくれ。
No, I'm the one who's sorry for yelling. Tell that to Kawase for me, too.
ちゃんと聞いてくれよ。
Listen to me. Following my lead, Minakami stopped.
演技は演技だったのだが、一つ気になることがあって。
That act was one thing, but there is something I'm curious about.
どうしてあんなに怒ったのかと思って。
This feels like the time where they could throw in a really, really cute CG, and I would probably cry. But I don't know what to expect from this, but this game just constantly throws me for a loop. I was wondering, why did you get so angry? CG? 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 There was only one answer I wanted to hear. Conveniently, it would also be the comforting words I wanted to hear. At the moment, Minakami probably didn't know how important that was to me. No, it wasn't just Minakami. No one other than me could possibly know how important this question was.
まどろっこしいな。
You're so slow. Kawase was approaching us from behind.
川瀬、さっきはすまなかった。
Kawase.
冗談だとは思えず。
Sorry for earlier. I didn't realize it was a joke.
冗談？冗談なんかじゃないよ。
A joke? It wasn't a joke.
え?
This is the worst! We really should have discussed our strategy.
さっきのは演技だったと玉森が。
Tamamori just said it was all an act.
みなかみ、悪いけど、この縄で縛られてくれ。
You're just gonna... Sorry, Minakami, but would you let us tie you up with this rope?
実はここからが本題なんだ。玉森くんの原稿が面白くないのは、玉森くんの経験の浅さだと気がついてね。
This was actually the
そ
point.
のためには現実的な体験が必要だと思うんだ。
I realized the reason Tamamori-kun's manuscripts are so boring is because he lacks experience. That's why I thought he could use some real-life experiences.
全くわけがわからないんだが。
I don't get this at all.
いいから両手を出して。
Don't worry about it. Just hold out both your hands.
玉森くんはその手を縛って。
Tamamori-kun will tie them.
ちゃんと
Right.
結べよ。肩結びくらいできるでしょ。
Alright, good. You can do a square knot at least, right? I tied both his wrists tightly. As I did, Minakami watched Kawase dumbfounded.
余った縄で胴をぐるぐるにして。
Wrap the extra rope around his waist.
はい。
Okay.
はいって玉森。これは何なのか説明してくれ。
Okay? Tamamori, explain this to me,
ほら
please.
梅鉢堂に戻るよ。
Come on, we're going back to Umebachido. I handed the remaining length of rope to Kawase. He began to walk as if he were dragging along a dog.
これが新作の構想とは思えないんだが。
I can't imagine this is a concept for a new story.
いいから言うことを聞いてくれ、みなかみ。私は後ろでこの様を描写する。
Never mind that, Minakami. Just do as we say. I'll be mentally narrating the scene from behind.
お前のためになるのなら。
As long as it's for you. Although I doubted anybody would want a setup like this. Once we had returned to Umebachido, our strange procession went upstairs. I have so many thoughts that I cannot say. Following Kawase's example, Minakami didn't take off his shoes, so I also ended up coming in with my shoes on. When we got to my room, Kawase kicked Minakami, who was still unable to move.
川瀬、冗談が過ぎるぞ。
Kawase, this joke has gone too far.
玉森くんに必要なのは金色夜叉みたいな胸くそ悪さだ。
What Tamamori-kun needs is disgust, like in the Gold Demon.
さあ、俺と水上で演じき
He just wants to beat him up! Now then, why don't Minakami and I act it out? Kawase kicked Minakami down without another thought. No! Right as he did, I began to wonder. I wondered why this space had transformed into the shores of Atami, sparkling in the moonlight. We got a CG, but Okay. This was the most famous scene in The Gold Demon by Koyo Ozaki.
ミサを破れば完膚じゃあるまいか。
What is happening? What is happening? Breaking your vows makes you an adulteress, doesn't it? Said Kawase, aka Kanichi. Suddenly Minakami, aka Mia, grasped the sands of the shore and shed tears larger than his closed eyes.
いつ私がミサを破って。
When did I break my vows?
俺という夫を持ちながら知らない男と当時に来てやってない証拠はどこにある？
What is happening? We're married, yet you went to the hot springs with a strange man. So where's the proof that you didn't?
それは全く寛一さんの邪推よ。私たちがこっちに来ているのを聞いて、富山さんが後ろから。
Those are just your unjust suspicions, Kanichi-san. Toyama-san heard we were coming here, so he followed us.
なんで富山の野郎が後から訪ねてくるんだ？
Why did that bastard Toyama come after you? Mia pursed her lips tightly, as if they had been nailed shut. Somewhere in his heart, Kanichi believed Mia. He believed she would apologize for her sins and pray for his forgiveness for the rest of her life. However, he felt no signs of remorse from Mia. Rather, she had begun to make excuses, seemed shocked even. Mia had abandoned him. My wife was stolen away by another man. How pitiful can I be? I should... No! I'm not gonna read that. Ah, these thoughts only make me the despicable one. Once she was knocked onto her backside on the shore by his excessive anger, Mia clung to Kanichi's back.
どうしてカイチさんどうしたのよ
This game is so unserious at times.
ミヤさん、俺たちがこうして一緒にいるのも今夜限りだ。だが、よく覚えていろ。1月17日、来年の今日のこの日の晩。10年後も。
I'm gonna be so real here, and I'm so sorry for anyone that has been following me for family-friendly content, okay? I'm going to be not family-friendly for a moment. I don't know how I feel about this weird foreplay happening for Tamamori. He's not involved in this. He's just watching. I am uncomfortable. He's watching the two, I guess, main guys that you're supposed to see as lovable, dateable interests, reenact some weird marriage dispute in front of him. I don't like the tone. I don't like the tone. This is weird. Very weird. I know this version is censored, and I know that the content in here should not be taken... I don't know, man. I really don't know, but I don't really care for it. It's a little weird. I'm just gonna say that now. Back to the regularly scheduled programming, I guess. Mia-san, this will be the only night we'll be together like this. But remember it well, the 17th of January. Next year, on this day, on this night, and the next year, and even 10 years later, this moon will blur with my own tears. And this is where we end this little play. The scenery had changed back to my bedroom. Kawase suddenly stood up and dusted off his backside with both hands.
どうだ玉森
How is that, Tamamori? I don't like this! I don't like the weird... No? That felt very voyeuristic, and I don't... When trios get involved, it gets weird!
寝取られとは興奮する。
Tamamori! I can't have that in a clip. I'm not gonna say that.
参考になったようならよかった。そろそろこの縄をほどいてくれないか。
I hope you can
定
use
題
this
に
as
用事があっ
reference.
てだな。
Could you untie this rope now? I need to go to the university.
悪いけど、本題の本題はここからなんだ。
Sorry, but the point of my point starts now. Kawase said as he kicked Minakami back down. This time he put his foot on Minakami's back, making sure he really couldn't move.
川瀬、頼むよ。もう時間が。
Kawase, please, I don't have time.
花沢にでも会いに行くの。
You're going to see Hanazawa? Kawase stepped down harder on the ropes. His anger was genuine. Perhaps realizing that, Minakami used all his strength to look up.
何の話だ
What are you talking about?
君、花沢とこっそり会ってるそうだね。
Apparently, you've been meeting with Hanazawa in secret for the past 3 months.
すまん。本当に何を言ってるかわからない。俺は花沢とはもう何年も。
Sorry, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't seen Hanazawa in years.
しらばっくれないだよね。よく知ってるみたいじゃないか。陸軍なんとかかんとか研究所に属してるってさ。
Don't play dumb, you seem to know quite a lot about him. Like how he's serving in some military whatever lab.
陸軍なんとかかんとか研究所
Army whatever lab?
陸軍科学研究所の第3課地学的事項研究室。
Tamamori, unnecessary. You should just go, hey, sorry, I lied. I just needed Minakami to be tied up, and I needed help.
なんだその陸軍科学研究所の第3課地科学的事項研究室って。
What is... I'm not reading this out every single time.
君も覚えが早い。さあ、俺にも全部話してもらおうか。玉森君に話したようにさ。
You can memorize things fast too, huh? Now then, tell me everything like you told Tamamori-kun.
どういうことだ玉森。
Is he talking about Tamamori? It was finally my turn to speak. I was wondering how I ended up getting left out of all of this. But just as I predicted, the focus had shifted back to me.
私は今、2人を騙している。
Actually, I'm fooling you both right now. Kawase glanced at me. I had asked him to play along no matter what, but there was doubt clouding those eyes. His intuition was correct. This was where my improvisation began.
まず一つ、川瀬を騙した。水上は花沢とは会っていない。会っていないどころか、懐かしいなぁとすら考えるほど過去の人物と思っている。
First, I fooled you, Kawase. Minakami hasn't seen Hanazawa. He hasn't seen him at all. He was just someone from the past he feels nostalgic about.
だからそうだと俺は。
But I was trying to say.
じゃあなんで
Then how...
じゃあなんで？私が花沢の肩書きを知っているかについてだが、その前にお前こそ正直に言う番じゃないか、川瀬。
Then how... How did I know where Hanazawa works? Well, I'll get to that. But first, isn't it your turn to confess the truth, Kawase? Kawase glared at me. I was giving him a calm and collected expression, but pleading with him on the inside. All you have to do is go along with whatever I say. That's all you have to do, Kawase.
そうだよ。俺は3ヶ月前から花沢と会っている。
That's right. I met up with Hanazawa 3 months ago.
そうか。再会できたのか。よかったな、川瀬。
See, so you were able to see each other again? Good for you. Good for you, Kawase.
余計なお世話だよ。けど、なんで玉森君が
None of your business, but... What did Tamamori-kun...
私は3日後の世界から来た。だからお前らの隠し事はまるまるお見通しなのだ。
I've come from 3 days in the future. That's how I know all about the things you guys are hiding. They were both dumbstruck. It was an outrageous claim, but at the very least, Kawase had every reason to believe what I was saying.
君、俺に嘘ついたの？
You lied to me?
悪かったな。だが本題の本題はここからで。
I hate these 3 idiots. Affectionate. You know, sorry, but this is where the point of my point begins.
花沢とはいつ会ったの？
When did you see Hanazawa?
え？
Huh? Kawase pulled out a small knife and cut Minakami's ropes. And then he approached me, still holding that knife.
ちょっと待って。
Wait a second!
どういうこと？いつどこで花沢と会っていたの？
What are you talking about? When and where did you see Hanazawa?
明日の夜お前の家で。
Tomorrow night, at your house.
何それ？
What's that supposed to mean?
だから言ってるだろう。私は未来から来たと。というか話が違う。黙って私の言うことに合わせてくれ。
Just told you I came from the future! By the way, this isn't what we agreed on. Be quiet and play along.
黙ってられるわけないじゃんか。言っていい嘘と悪い嘘があるよ。
There's no way I'm going to keep quiet. There are lies that are okay and lies that aren't okay.
ナイフしまえ。
The knife, put the knife away. Minakami came between
とも
us.
かく話を聞こう。
For now, let's hear what he has to say.
玉森も変に仕掛けないで正直に話してくれ。
You too, Tamamori. Don't start off with something so weird. Tell us the truth. You won't believe me. That's why I've had to go about this in such a convoluted way.
それでお前はこの3日間を2回繰り返していると。
And we're gonna end it there. We're gonna end it there. Save, and then we're good. We're done. Oh, no, don't overwrite saves.
セーブしない。
Case. Yay! find out how they react and what Tamamori says next time. Okay. I will see you all tomorrow for more of Curious Village. We're still going to go with the janky setup that we had yesterday because I can't be bothered, and it seemed to work, so we're going to deal with it. Thank you guys for coming.